Alright guys, I think this is going to be the last video for the assembly of the chassis. As the kit goes, I'm not sure if I'm going to do videos on mounting the motor, the ESC, and the servo yet, because all that stuff is going to be carried over from the other car, so there's going to be a lot of, I don't know, I might do the servo, we'll see. But anyhow, we're going to go to K4, which is going to be our rear hubs. As you can see, I've got some Exotech Texas that tighten up onto the dog bones there also. I've already got my rods out. I'll go ahead and cut into this thing. These bags don't have extra steps in them, so we're going to start with the one that has the universal bones in it. And I'm going to need to find the bag with the screws in it. Alright, I don't think we're going to need the bushings right yet. I don't see any in there. But we do need to get out our inserts. Alright, so before I get started too far, I'm going to go ahead and put a little layer of grease on the balls. I like to always start with grease on the balls. Just a little layer, none bunched up. Alright, so they've already got the bearings in here for me, the inner and the outer bearings, so we don't have to worry about putting those in. There's no spacers. We're going to take these hexes, we're going to put them out the way. And we're going to go ahead and open this bag up with these hexes. These hexes came with their own pins, which may be a little bit shorter than the other ones. Looks like they're shorter than the other ones. That one didn't come with directions, so those pins look shorter, but we'll use them. Alright, now the pictures here are showing the 2-dot spacers with the hole towards the bottom. So we got our 2-dot inserts, hole towards the bottom like so. And then find the other 2 holes. Hole towards the bottom. Push it in there nice and tight. Then it should have 2 more 2-hole ones. The hole towards the bottom. And this changes the angle of the hubs if you need to change the angle of the hub to get it to rock backward or forward just a little bit. Alright, now we read the little direction right here. me that there's a stock position and a reverse position. So these pieces here are a little off-centered. They're just a little off-centered to one way. So the stock position is going to have the shallow side towards the back. Then we put our screws here on the Loctite, set the car on it. Screws going through metal into metal, so definitely want to make sure we got some Loctite on there. Now if you're the optional position is to flip these little blocks over to where the shorter sections on the other side of the hub, the front side of the hub. But I've got 3 setting positions in here, and the ball is going to go in the middle when I put it together. So we're going to start off with that position first, and then later on, if I need to change it in tuning, I can. But that's probably going to be more for a high bite situation, to where you're going to where you're really going to change these, and then you'll get your kick. You want to keep your arm straight. Alright, so we're going to take a ball. It's going into aluminum. A little bit of thread locker on there. We're going to put that in the middle hole. Alright, and this other one, we'll have a close section facing the other direction. It's going to go on the other side of the car. Get these screws started in the holes. Run them in, get them real tight. Again, it's metal to metal, so with a metal screw. So definitely Loctite and definitely crank the hell out of these things. Alright, those are on there. So now we're going to put the universal through. It bottoms out to the bearing, just like so. Then we're going to take our Exotech hexes. Now I see why they got the shorter ones. So we're going to put the pin through the hole in the shaft. Make it horizontal so it don't fall out. And we're going to take the hex. We're going to put it on there. That's probably going to be a 1.5. Yep. And then we're going to snug our hex down on there where it don't come off. And then there we go. We got one. We'll Go ahead and do the other side. Put that through there. Put the pin in there. Center it. Drop the hex on there. Hold everything nice and tight. Get the right nut driver. Tighten the hex up so it doesn't come off. Here we go. No in and out movement. Nice, easy, smooth rolling. No binding. Oh, I forgot to put the ball on top of the other one. And the ball laying on the paper. I'm like, why do I have a ball laying on the paper? I should have had it in there. Just like so. Alright, got our 2 hinge pins. Got our spacers and our nuts inside this bag. So I'm going to go ahead and drop them out. Are all these spacers the same size? So they may be all the same size. So we'll take our car right here. I'm gonna take our hinge pin right here. We're going to get a little bit of anti-wear grease on there. Get both of them dolled up a little bit. Alright, we're going to put this on with the short section towards the back. Like so. And it looks like we're going to put 2 1mm spacers in there, one on either side. I'll look at my other car real quick. I'm going to see how I got that one set up. Just like that. Okay, so works for the other car. We're going to use it on this car. So they're wanting the cap of the screw to come through, the hinge pin to come through the back. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to start that. We're going to get our spacer in there. Pull the screw back just enough to where it holds the spacer in place. Put the dog bone in. I'm going to get it started through the hub there, just like so. And we need to, I find it easier just to leave this thing sitting flat on the table when you do this, because then when you put the spacer in, it tends not to run away. Kind of just stops in place. Hard part's getting it in that little hole. Getting it started in there. There it goes. That first couple millimeters is up. Alright, now I should be able to push the screw through. Yep. And the nut that goes on the front side. Should be a 2mm. Yes, it is. And then Nope, that's not going to be a 5.5. That's going to be a 5. Just like so. Tighten it up till it stops. And then lining up our notches on the front with the notch on the back for our camber rod. Make sure they're all facing the same direction. Snap it all together. Alright, that side's on there. Suspension's nice and free. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. Short side toward the back. Already got grease on there. Already got grease on that. Give me 2 spacers. Starting from the back. Just poke it through. Get a washer started on there. Get the dog bone in the cup. Get the hinge pin started in the arm. Make sure it's not poked to the other side. Pull back just a hair. A bit further. There we go. Now we got to work this spacer into the front. And I should be able to push this right on through. Just like that. Grab our other nut and it goes on here. Tighten that all the way up. I just realized something. There's supposed to be a spacer underneath the ball cup or the ball here. So loosen that up and throw it on there right quick. And I'll pop the other side off and do that once I get this side put together. And that thread lock's still wet, so I'm not worried about it. Alright, just like so. Snap the camber rod on, facing the same direction. Just like so. Now I should be able to take the other side off without taking the cup off. Yep. You got a nice neat little hole on top of these things so you can get right in there. Make small tuning adjustments like this very, very easy. I put a 1mm washer on the bottom of that. Tighten it up. Alright, suspension on both sides. Nice. Beautiful. 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 Alright guys, that is it for that part of it. So, it's like the servo mount, then the motor mount. Alright, I may do those videos next, but anyhow, This is the chassis built, complete front to rear, before any electronics go in. So I guess let me start disassembling the other car. I'll get all the pieces and parts out that need to go into this one. Go grab some servo tape out of the trailer, and we shall work on that next. Starting on step L01, which is going to be the servo. Alright, see you guys in a little bit.